One of the guys that's had a wide variance for me throughout the draft process of where I think he could be drafted was Cunningham of Vanderbilt. He's a guy I've put all over the place in mock drafts. At one point in time, top 10, top 15, top 20, um, end of the first round, second round, just all over the place with this guy. And I think in part it kind of matches what I see in the prospect himself because there are times I look at him and he looks like he could potentially be a world beater. And there are other times I watch him and I really wonder if he actually has what it takes to play at the NFL level. So let me talk a little bit about the prospect and what I like versus what I don't like. First, the length and height of 6'4" at the linebacker position. Some people probably prefer shorter, lower centers of gravity type of linebackers. I like this type of linebacker with this type of size, especially when you factor in that quickness and speed. He's a guy that you can envision as an outside linebacker or as an inside linebacker in a 3-4, being able to do a lot of great things. His straight ahead burst is really, really good. I will say is that he can be a little linear in terms of his athleticism. He's decent laterally. He's got decent long speed, but it's not exceptional. He's quicker than he is fast, if you don't mind. He's got good range. Again, his range doesn't match the explosiveness of the athlete in a short area. Sometimes he takes poor angles to the football, but he does have enough athleticism to get sideline to sideline. He has enough. I think he's up and down sometimes as a run defender. He's got a really good feel for finding and hitting the gap. Um, his pursuit is really, really good. He shows some ability to be able to penetrate the backfield and blow up plays there. But at times, as a tackler, he can be frustrating because he can make some really, really good tackles, and then he misses some tackles he just shouldn't. And a lot of times that goes from just going too damn high and trying to reach out with his arms at almost shoulder level of the ball carrier or the receiver. And if he does that at the NFL level, he's going to be eaten alive. It doesn't matter how much he gets to the ball. It doesn't matter how much he gets to the play and where he needs to be. If he can't wrap up and seal the deal, that's going to be concerning. And at 6'4", 230 pounds, you would hope with that type of height and length that he would bring a little bit more of a wallop as a hitter than he really does. Now he showed some ball skills, in particular the ability to maybe force some turnovers, but again, he misses a lot of tackles. He makes some plays that other people wouldn't, and he makes some spectacular splash impact plays. It's just, he misses a lot of tackles high. Decent instincts for the position. What I think hurts Cunningham a little bit is I'm not sure that people will view him as a 3-4 outside linebacker type. Because while he has the height and the length to be an edge rusher, he's really, really skinny, like even skinnier than Leonard Floyd last year, who the Bears ended up taking 9th overall. Leonard Floyd was about 6'4", maybe 240, 245 pounds. You talk about Zach Cunningham weighing in at about 230 or so. That's what about he plays at. That's really, really small for an edge rusher, kind of getting into like Barkevius Mingo 6'5", 235 territory. Now, granted, just about anybody be a better pass rusher off the edge than Zach than Barkev as a pass rusher, as a blitzer, than he is, in surprise type of situations than he would be
as a consistent edge rushing type of guy. I don't know if he has the strength to be effective enough as a bull rusher. I don't know if he's quite athletic enough in the hips to be able to bend the edge consistently. Not a lot in terms of actual pass rush moves. Like I said, he's got a lack of strength that I think would limit him there. He ultimately is the type of guy to me, similar to like a Jamie Collins type, where you want to do a lot of different things with him, but you don't want him to be rushing the passer all the time. You want to allow that talent, that athleticism to flourish and kind of flow all over the place. Now, similar to Jamie Collins, there might be some concerns with Zach Cunningham in terms of he'd be so eager to go make plays that he could fuck up the integrity of the rest of the defense, and that's a valid concern. Is he going to screw up the rest of the defense because he's in such a attack mode trying to always make the play? You hate to sit there and knock a guy for that, but that's a concern. Now, I like the fact he played every game the past couple of years.
I mean, he's a smart kid. They don't admit dummies to Vanderbilt. You know, I was going to say they do at other SEC schools, but I kid, I kid, I kid. He's a guy that's put on 30 pounds since he graduated high school. How much more weight can he put on there remains to be seen. I do like the fact that he plays with a fire and a passion relatively consistently that I think translates well to the NFL level. In terms of my NFL comparison for him, is Jamie Collins. And the funny thing is, in 2013 in that draft class, I absolutely sucked. I wasn't very big on Jamie Collins at all, and I kind of crapped on the Patriots for taking him. Ha ha ha! Jokes on me. Now the Cleveland Browns can have fun with him. But I see some similarities to Jamie Collins in terms of a guy that you can utilize in coverage, that you can utilize as a run defender, that you can utilize some as a blitzer. He can make plays all over the place. He could be a very impressive athlete, and I think he's got that type of upside. He's got to get better again as a tackler. He's going to have to get stronger. And it'll be interesting to see where teams think he fits at the NFL level. I think now, my grade on him is an 89.0. He's probably a second round pick. I don't know that he goes in the first round. He does a number of things pretty well. I don't know if he does any one thing like so spectacularly well that teams will want to take him in round number one. We'll see where he ends up going. Like I said, I think somewhere in the early to mid portion of round number two is probably his ceiling and floor, or as they say, the ceiling is the roof. Uh, but he's a good prospect. I like him, yes, a little bit more than Reuben Foster because I think he's a little more reliable, and I like that superior length at the position, even though he's not quite the athlete. I just, in general, I feel like Zach Cunningham is a little bit of a safer pick, especially when you factor in off the field stuff compared to a Reuben Foster.